So, hello everyone. My name is Kuzekov Daniyar. Currently, I'm studying my master's degree in data science and information technology at Tsinghua University, Shenzhen Institute of Graduate Studies, 6. And today I'm going to present you my current progress and my study of a blockchain-enabled universal engine for collaborative document auditing and workflow of optimization. So, yeah, let's start. So our problem is that currently traditional document workflows are very centralized and intermediary dependent. Also, there are issues with auditability, and sequentiality causes bottlenecks in terms of time efficiency. And we know that time is an essential key metric that helps to determine our work efficiency in different professional environments. And traditional linear workflows, as you can see here in our figure, such as passing document for an approval from one person to another, as here, starting from design, let's say, or review and approval stages, is most widely adopted option. However, if we can see that we have our architect passing the document to our engineer, and engineer passing our document to a designer, and designer passing this document to owner, it takes a lot of time. And also, they have to approve each step, which makes it even more inefficient. And this applies to different industries such as construction, engineering, legal, healthcare, and etc. So our research objective is to develop a non-centralized trust chain for project-based collaboration where we can enable transparent, simultaneous document editing and auditing and replace linear workflows with democratic and cryptographically verified processes. So in certain spheres, there are almost no communication between seniors and lower subordinates that could further decelerate the final project resolution. And that's why what we're going to do is to connect all of these stakeholders at the same time to work on the same project and allow them to edit and enable them to vote, which is going to be our consensus mechanism, and help to determine the best version of the work. That's why decreasing time for creating a better project process. Okay. So here we can compare our two flows. This is the traditional one, and this is our novel collaborative method. For our system overview, we're going to create a universal engine for collaborative document management, where we can accept any document type across industries. Specifically in construction engineering, we can use IFC, or in BIM, building information modeling files, as well as RVT, DVG, PCF, and etc. And that's why we could anchor to legal cadastre for ownership and compliance. Our core technology would be using blockchain layer as a substrate framework for immutable records, conflict-free replicated data types for real-time editing, consensus mechanism where we can determine our roles, such as owner, user, or like engineer. And that's why, based on role you have, you can determine weight for each voter. And that's why increasing fairness during consensus. And decentralized storage should be IPFS for secure content management. IPFS stands for Interplanetary File System, where you can distribute your files across decentralized network instead of relying on centralized ones. For architecture layer, to be blockchain transaction layer, we are going to use CRDTs, as well as consensus and procurement layer and decentralized storage layer. We're going to ensure security because one of the main features of blockchain is that it is immutable. And as soon as each user is going to add any new changes, all of that is going to be recorded on blockchain. And that's why we're going to ensure that we'll keep all of your data secured. And we can also enhance security by cryptographic signature, role-based access control, and private key sharing for selective data visibility, because some of data could be really confidential, specifically in construction engineering. There are some stages that has to be reviewed by procurement layer by governments or some certain auditing companies. And that's why we want to keep your confidentiality. And that's why we are going to enable private key sharing. For our research, we are going to do a blockchain-based document architecture, integrated branching and consensus mechanism, as well as we'll use Markov chains modeling. Specifically, we'll apply model the document lifecycle as a final state Markov process consisting of transient stages, as well as we're going to show the process modeled as continuous time Markov chain CTMC models and prove that our architecture will work. And for our implementation stack, we used React TypeScript for our frontend. Our backend, we used Rust because it is really fast, as well as Node.js. For smart contracts, we applied Solidity, and there are some optimizations implemented too. For our conclusion, we would like to create a paradigm shift from hierarchical to democratic workflows, where different companies or different construction companies could implement a new workflow for their processes in order to increase time efficiency, as well as we'll add cryptographic verification to ensure trust and transparency, and modular architecture that will support scalability and innovation. We actually created a demo, which I would like to show you too. Yeah, just a second. Can you see my screen?
We can, yes.
Okay, cool. So this is our demo where we can, first of all, see our information such as our projects. We can create different projects such as we can create our new document or specifically IFC document, which is basically a model for construction building. We can upload it here just by drag and dropping. Here we can connect our wallet, let's say MetaMask. Here also we can fund it, test it, or connect and disconnect it. So as we have our blockchain audit trail component, which can track all versions committed, all tasks that people did in order to keep sequential auditing information. Then let's start. For instance, we can create our new document. And here we can branch it to different branches. And we can add some information such as audit summary 1, audit summary 2, which is basically like a regular document auditing. However, there is a catch. We can also save it, export it to IPFS, or branch it further. We can create different teams, and then we can preview it here in our map. So as you can see, we have different projects already. And each save here is cryptographically secured, and we can load our content. Not here. Yeah, we have different ones too. So you can create different saves of your actions and commits. However, the most interesting part lays here. We can upload our own IFC documents, see its components, such as here, walls, beams, and also columns. And then we actually can edit our IFC document. If we are engineer and we know how to do it, we can add some numbers, try to change IFC structure, and then we can validate it. And to see if our syntax is valid, then we can also save this version. And when it comes to procurement, we also have here our building analysis. We can see if it is compliant with all the norms, as well as we can check our approval workflow. For instance, if your boss sees that you have committed last version, he can approve that version, and we can continue on with field authority, external authorities, and we can finalize our project and vote for the best project. So also have other components and IFC components here listed too. Also, we can go to consensus part where we can cast our votes for the best branch that we have and the best safe in order to ensure that everyone is attending and actually contributing to this project too. And we can see different users, such as here. They have different authority roles. And here we can switch between different roles too. However, you need to have an access to do that. But because I'm an admin here, I can do it. Yeah. And this is demo for our project. And have any more questions, you can contact me via the following email. And these are my current advisors on this project. And that will mark the end. Yep. Thank you very much.